Scott, SJWellfire.com, Final Days Report, episode 253. Today's Fishcast, we want to unlock 4 tricks behind the legalization of cannabis, including a gun grab that you need to know about. First of all, my history with marijuana, I did a lot of research about the medical information. I almost took a couple marketing jobs. One was a vice president level and another one was a director level. Early days when marijuana started to be legal for medical purposes. And Rick Simpson, for those of you that know some of his work about how some cannabis, especially the THC, will kill certain types of cancer. And I know for a fact, some of my family members that have been through chemo, they swore cannabis helped them get through their situation. We have a couple dentists in our family that have seen people with epilepsy and other neurological issues that they would have to knock out to work on their teeth, and they would smoke a joint and all of a sudden they'd be fine, where the dentist in my family could actually work on them. They thought it was a minor miracle, and they were talking about shaking profusely, like out of control, to being just calm. Cancer treatment relief, we talked about that. Pain relief, arthritis, I've heard testimonies of that. I've seen testimonies, even family members and friends, and granted, they're not saved, but it helps them with mood disorders, type A personalities. They should get saved. They might have a demon in them, but I have seen mood disorders really helped through marijuana. And I'm sure I'm missing a slew of other medical properties for marijuana. So this isn't ripping on marijuana in terms of the medical properties, but for recreation, we'll talk a little bit about that further on in this VCast. But this is why I wanted to do this. This was alarming to me. ATF pot users can't legally own firearms regardless of the state laws. I'll read that again. Pot users can't legally own firearms regardless of state laws. So is this a Second Amendment gun grab? Disarming the population. You think about all the people that are patriots, all the people that need to defend themselves that actually are involved with marijuana. Let's go on to read within this article from Zero Hedge. I think if the ATF agents weren't planning on enforcing it, they may have just let it go, and it would kind of been a wink, wink, nudge, nudge that, yes, it's illegal, but much like the other federal cannabis prohibitions, we're not going to be enforcing it, said Dorr, adding the fact that they sent out the notice is cause for some raised eyebrows. And if you think the government loves you, we did a podcast. The government would love you. If the government loved you, they would do what? They would, one, take the fluoride out of the water that, according to Harvard, said causes lower IQ and cancer. They're poisoning you, my friends. I mean, this is just evil. So is this a gun grab? So that's number one. That's the number one legalization of marijuana trick. Number two, it actually brings in this technocracy of tracing seeds to your mouth. I've read articles about how every legal dispensary in marijuana needs to be tracked from seed to consumption. And sure enough, I know somebody in the industry that told me the same thing. They've actually seen this happen firsthand, and the mechanism, the back end systems used to actually do this. They want to track everything. Every blade of grass they want to track with their nanotechnology. But let's read seed to sale tracking. Seed to sale tracking is a rigorous inventory control system that tracks the cultivation, processing, and sales of cannabis and cannabis-infused products to consumers and registered qualifying patients. Everything is tracked. It's a model to track everything. I remember this Google executive talked about how they want to track to see if you actually took your medication. So they want to put little nanochips in your medication to make sure that you actually digested it and to see where that goes down the whole system, the waste system. You can't make this stuff up, my friends. All right, number three, the big trick with legalizing pot, marijuana, ganja, is big pharma. This is a seed war, big pharma takeover of medical cannabis. The weed strain GMO is one of the recent most hyped cannabis breeds. So God only knows what this is doing. Even seasoned smokers swear they have never known a high like the one from GMO. The strain has garnered almost as much publicity as it has nicknames, as well as GMO. It is known as garlic cookies and GMO cookies. What are they doing with the GMO seeds? So not only are they taking it over, probably like they took over the seeds, right? I remember early days when I woke up, how big agribusiness was going after organic farmers and winning court cases. This is about genetically modifying seeds. And that's why if you took this mRNA shot, you might be patented by that inventor, right? Check out that podcast we did, Are You Human? If you actually took the mRNA vaccine, and I quote lawyers, I quote case law, but they're going after the seeds on everything, my friends. And I was doing some research. If there's evil with GMOs, what could be some of the, I guess, desired attributes? One, addiction enhancement. Two, health risks. We know that Big Pharma wants to make you sick, right? With the chemtrails, with the fluoride in the water, with all the neurotoxins in our environment. They want us sick so that then they can actually milk us with Big Pharma. Surveillance and control, potentially GMO seed dominance as well. And again, talking about Monsanto, now Bayer really had some just awful lawsuits against organic farmers where like their seeds were somehow pollinating and getting crossbred with organic seeds. And they were suing organic farmers. Wicked, wicked, evil. I put the blood of Jesus on this nefarious playbook. And one of the reasons why I'm covering this, I cover a lot of dreams that I've had since 2008. And the reason why I started this Watchman ministry is that I'd have dreams that would come true in a personal perspective. And then I started getting prophetic dreams. Like in 2008, Russia would attack. Russia was a failed state in 2008. One of the dreams that I had when I was actually going to take a job, a high paying job for medical marijuana, I had a dream that said it's going to be taken over with GMOs, and I just saw dread. So what is happening here? Are they just flat out getting you stoned beyond belief? Who knows? Let's continue on big business, big agra. The cannabis industry is predominantly controlled by well-funded corporations or individuals with access to capital, which can lead to the exclusion of small businesses and marginalized communities. I've heard from two people that this is an insider game, these dispensaries, and one of them was an insider, and one of them was trying to actually get involved in the dispensary business. He said, when you look at the licenses given out to dispensaries, these pot medical places and recreation, they're insiders, flat out. It kind of reminded me of when alcohol became legal. Supposedly, a lot of the distributors were old school organized crime. I'm not saying everybody are organized criminals that are distributors, but that supposedly was the rumor. That's where the organized crime money went, the distribution side of it. So it's an insider game. And then the fourth piece that I think why they legalized it, one, probably to get a tax base. Two, they couldn't control it. But the fourth bit is numb, dumb, and programmable, especially if they're kicking out genetically modified smoke that makes you stoned beyond belief. I remember talking to somebody, and I didn't necessarily believe him, but he owned all these restaurants and no one was in these restaurants. And I was like, how come you're surviving? It just seems like you're not serving very good food. We're trying to sell him to upgrade his menu. And he's like, I don't want to sell. And he talked a little bit about how he would use his restaurants to launder money. This was years ago. And he talked about purple haze as a strain that one hit, you'd be on your chair and not be able to move. And I'm like, how is that fun? I mean, it sounded like a nightmare to me. But they want you numb, dumb, and programmable. And I saw a video, I actually put this video on my Telegram channel, where you have for television, television, right? We've talked about this before, television programming. You're being programmed. And channel, what's the channel? You're being you're channeling stuff in this Black Mirror device. We always talk about cell phone, right? It's your cell, World Wide Web, blockchain, Hollywood is flat out witchcraft. So this is a news ministry. We tie it back to the Bible. If you're smoking dope just from a recreational perspective, I would get out of it, my friends, because 1 Peter 5-8, 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Being stoned opens up demonic pathways, pharmakia. I mean, you see, and we've done a couple podcasts on this, on what is it called? Ayahuasca, opening up the third eye. People that would do these different rituals with these witches would all see the same thing. It's demonic, my friends. You want to stay away from this, especially as the veil is being lifted. That last podcast that we did talking about the Las Vegas aliens and spiritual warfare. It's going to get heavy. It's absolutely going to get heavy. But I thought this was a bit alarming. I know people that smoke dope legally that love their firearms, and this to me seems like a trap. So Scott with sjwellfire.com. Thank you for your support. Again, think of purchasing the t-shirt of God, Save Souls, with your story, Mercy of God, Child of God. And seal one is open that primes the fourth beast system as iron, graphene oxide, mix, and clay. You, if you're not aware and awake to this transhumanism agenda. Preparation is biblical. Check out some of the sponsors that we have on our website, or really more affiliates. And again, thank you for your prayers. Make sure you share. I'm almost thinking if you could send a couple letters to people, go a little old school and mention SJ Wellfire, that would help us immensely because we are censored big time electronically. So have a blessed day.